everyone out there, what's going on? My name's Ken Susi, guitar player of Unearth, also Fishman Fluence Brand Manager. We're here to talk about all things Fishman Fluence and or Unearth. Guys, before we get going, go to www.fishman.com. Check out our electric, our acoustic, our amplifiers, MIDI, pickups, everything. Anything you want to know about Fishman, it's right here on this site. Absolutely awesome site. Guys, today is the Oncoming Storm's birthday. We released this in, I believe, 2003. We didn't really start touring on it till 2004. Guys, if there's anything that you want to ask me today, I'm putting your questions up on the screen. You guys were just listening to me play track 1 off the Oncoming Storm. Today I'm going to play nothing but Oncoming Storm tracks. Yes, Great Dividers off the Oncoming Storm, track 1. I'm going to be displaying your questions right here on the screen. So ask me anything you want about the album cycle, touring, about what pickups I'm using in this guitar. Fishman Fluence Modern Series humbuckers. In my KSM 7-string. Absolutely love it. But let's start off. Drew, you're back. How you doing, buddy? Hey, Ken, since today is the birthday of the Oncoming Storm, I wanted to share my first memory of coming across you guys, which is when y'all were interviewed on Headbangers Ball when Dimebag and Vinny were hosting. So, funny story about that. That was our first time on MTV. We were really nervous. We knew Jamie Josta was the regular host, but we also knew that he wasn't going to be there that day. So what we did was, we just kind of showed up and we were kind of nervous to be on MTV. Obviously, Headbangers Ball was one of those shows that we all grew up watching. But sure enough, Mr. Vinny, Paul, and Dimebag were there, and they had a bottle of Crown Royal. The second we got there, we started drinking heavily. And we were lucky to be interviewed by them. The cool thing is that if you watch the video, if it's still online somewhere, they hand us a bottle of Jack Daniels, Crown Royal, and they're like, for being on the show, we wanted to give you a gift, and it was pretty much almost gone. so it's pretty funny, but a lot of great memories. Thank you for writing in. I'm so excited to have my ticks for the Unearthed show with Shadows Fall. Yes, guys, we are playing with Shadows Fall in December, on December-ish, like 20th, I think it is, or so. It's going to be an unbelievable show. So if you can make it to Worcester Palladium in Massachusetts, I would guarantee you it's going to be one heck of a throwdown. I remember Vinny announcing the release of that album on an interview. I'm sure it was really cool and very humbling experience when you guys, at that point in our career. Actually, not necessarily humbling. It was obviously, amazing to be on that show, but having been on tour with Vinny and Dime prior to that was actually really a humbling experience. Really got to get to know those guys and see real, true, professional metal guys. I think they were the first real band that we toured with that kind of showed us that, you could be many years in the industry and just be cool with everybody. So Vinny and Dime were always family oriented and really cool with us. But at that point, we were just trying to get through the interview without making fools of ourselves. But yeah, those guys were great. Thank you for the Oncoming Storm. It changed my life in a positive way. Pure Cold, this record, Cheerio, Switzerland. Thank you so much. That record, as I said on my Instagram and Facebook and all my social posts today, just putting out the Oncoming Storm. I mean, we're selling a ton of records. That thing almost went gold. But we definitely, we got to travel the world so many different times. So many friends that we've met along the way. I mean, we had a lot of friends prior to that record, but, we met so many new people and gained so many new fans. And thanks to obviously Damage Plan, Vinny Dime, guys in the band like Hatebreed and Slipknot and Killswitch and Lamb of God and all of our peers, the people that we grew up with, and getting to tour with them. It made that album cycle really perfect. And actually, just thinking about it, one of the best tours we did on that album cycle was we went out with Atreyu and Norma Jean, and that was really fun. That was a world tour, so we went all the way from America all the way across the planet. One fell swoop, so it was really cool to do a world tour, but it was just it's very exhausting because I don't think we took many breaks in between. Hey everyone, how you doing? Again, I'm posting your all your questions up here. Get at it, Ken. Thank you so much. Hey, boom, boom, boom. Playoffs starting a live stream with something off your favorite album. Yeah, definitely. I like playing. Again, today's the Oncoming Storm's birthday. I wanted to play track 1 right off the bat, but I will be playing more. Yo, hold up. I'm actually watching live stream. Okay. When is it possible to order a custom modern pickup with different color options? I need one. Yeah, I mean, we're looking into doing little different colors moving forward. So just keep your eye out. I can't give you an exact date when because we're still working on that project, but should be pretty cool. Should get a number of different options. I remember seeing Unearth at Ozfest. I was 13 or 14. That's pretty cool. I think I was about 20. 21. I was a young no, maybe like 22, 23. I was a young buck. Ozfest 2004, was it 05? We played in the summer of 2004. That was a great year. That's where we met Slipknot, became good friends with them. Lamb of God, Every Time I Die, we shared a tour bus with them. Norma Jean, Darkest Hour, Bleeding Through, Atreyu. Main stagers, I think, was like Dimmu Borgir, Slayer, Ozzy. Oh, no, sorry, Sabbath, not Ozzy. And I can't remember the other one. Maybe it was Zakk Wylde. Oh, no. It was Phil Anselmo's band, Down. That was pretty cool. Hope everyone's doing great. Ken, bring the shred. When can we catch you guys here in LA? Hopefully soon. We want to get back at it, but Unearth is currently writing a new record, so we're getting at that right now, and then we're going to come back with more material. Can't remember those days are a blur. I went several years in a row. That's cool. Yeah, those years were a blur to me too. Does Hate Mean Freedom? Yes. Lyric off of The Great Dividers. Thanks, Rini. Hope your friend's dog's okay. From last stream. Can't wait to see you guys in Montreal again. Like my 33rd, 34th time. Dang. Unearth absolutely loves Montreal. It's one of the first territories that we broke as a young band. And I have so many friends and so many great memories in Montreal. It's seriously one of my favorite places to play. Especially Club Foufoune. Club Foufoune Electric is one of my favorite places to be in the entire planet. Just so many good memories there. Hey Ken, how you doing, man? My question is for you is will your signature LTD ever be available in left-handed? I would love to get my hands on it. I don't think so, because I'm a righty guitar player, and I don't think ESP puts out many left-handed guitars. I know they do have them, but I don't think they would do I've never seen a signature model in left-handed ever, I don't think. Hell yeah. How long ago was the tour where you played the full album? It was our 10-year anniversary. 10 years was the last time I think we played the Oncoming Storm in its entirety. So that was quite a trip. I think we're getting close to 20 years at this point. So I'm an old dude. What do you expect? Ken, any plans for any more Fluence humbucker models? I'd like to see an ATG Josh Middleton model, but other non-SIGs would be great cool. To be honest with you, Josh Middleton currently plays Modern Series humbuckers. I know you want to see a model with his name on it, but he actually plays Modern Series humbuckers. So just get the Modern Series humbuckers, and that's Josh Middleton's sound. That's my sound. That's a number of artists' sound. I have the ability to make my own custom series if I want. I'm the product manager and one of the first, if not the first, metal artist on the roster. But I don't need to. I mean, the Modern Series are so great. Josh Middleton plays them. Matt Heafy plays them. So many great players play them. So we do have more modern humbuckers coming down the pipeline that are kind of new. I can't really disclose what that is, but I think you're going to be really surprised as we release them. Will there be any bands added to the Shadows Fall card? Yes. Most importantly, it goes Shadows Fall. We're co-headlining. We're right under them. And right underneath us is the Darkest Hour. They're on the show, which is greatest dudes ever. And then there's a new band from Salem, Massachusetts called Carnivora. They're really cool. I've known them for a couple of years now, and Absolutely love their spirit, and they're an up and coming young band. Absolutely love them. So it's going to be a great show. Get to Massachusetts in December. I have so many people. To be honest with you, I have so many people flying in from different states, and a couple of my really good friends from like California are flying in and staying at my house for that show. So it's going to be one heck of a party. Favorite song on the Oncoming Storm, and where did the title come from? Love it, and happy birthday to the album. Congrats. Thank you so much, Randy. I would say my favorite song off the Oncoming Storm was probably The Great Dividers, which I just played, but also Endless. And Endless was a song that we wrote before the album came out. It was actually on an EP for Endless specifically. So the Endless EP, which had some other really great songs on it. But I remember when, this is a cool piece of information that nobody knows, that when we put out the Oncoming Storm, we were we were a big band, but we weren't as big as what we were going to be after the Oncoming Storm, and none of us saw that coming. And there was the reason why Endless was like track 7 or 8, something like that, was because the band didn't actually feel comfortable with re-releasing Endless and re-recording it. At the time, the version on the EP was so good that guys were just like, everyone already knows Endless, like we can't put it on the record. And I begged Trevor and the guys to put Endless on the record because it was just it was one of those songs that needed to be on a full length. And that was the other songs on the album were the EP were cool and everything, but I felt like that particular song was like, that has to be on a full length record. And the band agreed, and we moved forward. So Endless almost didn't end up on the Oncoming Storm, which is totally crazy. Because some of you might not have heard it, especially if you didn't get the EP. But hey, with all this talk, why don't we do this? Why don't I play Endless right now for you? Because why the heck not? Let's do it. Let's do Endless.
Yeah.
Endless off of the Oncoming Storm. Guys, today is the Oncoming Storm's birthday. Again, I am here on behalf of Unearth talking about the Oncoming Storm, and also I'm here to talk about Fishman Fluence pickups on my Takeover. I am playing Modern Series 7-string nickel pickups in my KSM 7-string. So let's continue with your questions, guys. I'm putting your questions right up here and answering them. Seen you eat boogers on stage. SLC 2016. I have eaten many of my own boogers on stage. All right, Headbangers Ball was my dealer of metal. That's awesome. Yeah, Headbangers Ball was amazing. Black Hearts Now Rain. Finally want to hear that live in December at the shows with Shadows Fall, as well as Zombie Autopilot. Yeah, I should play Zombie Autopilot next, or Black Hearts. Ken, any plans for any new Fluence humbucker models? I'd like to see an ATT. Okay, we answered that one. I'm sorry. Have that show recorded on DVD. Yeah, I know. I really wish we could. That would require a huge production. 2004, maybe 2005, freshman year of college. Atreyu, Unearth, Scars of Tomorrow. And there was one more, I think. Yeah, it was Norma Jean. That was the tour I was talking about. It was 2005-ish. We did a world tour. So we played all of America, all of Australia, Japan, Europe, New Zealand. Like, we just traveled absolutely everywhere for I think we were on tour for like 16 months. Almost straight. It was unbelievable. How was the writing process for both you and Buzz on this album? If you're talking about the Oncoming Storm, it was good because we put out a album called The Stings of Conscience in the year 2000, and we got into some weird label stuff right around 2002, and we really wanted to put out. We had most of these songs around the 2002 period, like Endless and some other stuff, but we didn't want to fulfill the contract that we currently had, and we were already talking to other labels, so we stalled, and so we only put out a small EP, and then we put out a full length. So we had a lot of time to write that record. So it was basically from late 2001 to about 2003. I guess that's not that much time. That's a normal album cycle, but we had a lot. We were really feeling like the success of the band, and the songs were easy because not a lot of people were playing sweeps and breakdowns and all the stuff that you're hearing today. So we were kind of, paving our own path towards success. And then once we got popular, the bar was raised because everybody and their grandmother were playing the same kind of stuff as us. Play Black Hearts Now Rain into Zombie Autopilot in December, please. I wish we could, but those are two different tunings. So if we're gonna do them, we would have to change guitars. We can't go right into it. But that's awesome. I love that. You remember Battle for Ozfest? I do. That was fun when we did the Ozfest tour on the Oncoming Storm tour. Album cycle. Sharon Osbourne thought it'd be cool to get a bunch of bands together from around the country and have them battle to who's the best band. They made a whole TV series, and we were on it a lot, and we became friendly with the guys. The guy who won it, the dude from I believe the band Mantis. Anyway, favorite breakdown on the Oncoming Storm? I would say the End of Great Dividers. Does Hate Mean Freedom? That whole part. We usually play that later on in our set because it causes the most chaos. Hope you guys get your asses up to Belgium fast. Yes, I want to go to Belgium. I miss eating waffles as well. Belgium's a great place. I second that. Black Hearts. Yes. Okay. Can you tell anything about the bass pickups? Yeah, the Fluence bass pickups are amazing. Let me hop over to our site. If you head over to the electric pickup section of the www.fishman.com, you will see that there are right here 4 and 5 string bass, 4 and 5 string bass pickups. These are absolutely amazing. What I'm going to tell you is that every single bass player that has grabbed these right now, John Campbell from Lamb of God, and anybody else that's played these has lost their mind. It does everything that Fluence does normally with the, multiple voicings, versatility, note clarity, phase alignment, just everything you would ever want in a pickup. But again, in these pickups, voice 1 is a passive sound, classic, fat and round. It's super, super vintagey sounding. It's amazing. Voice 2 is an active sound, full frequency, full dynamic. So it's definitely a really, really usable sound. A lot of people use the Voice 2. But then we took Voice 2 for it's not a third voicing, but it's Voice 2 again with an active mid contour. So if you're into playing slap bass, jazz bass, like that, sorry, slap bass or just like funk and hi-fi scoop sounds, that's it. And then you can actually get a single coil mode of each sound. So all of these pickups come with everything that you would need, like a 2-band EQ, blend pot, 3-way mini toggle to get to all the voicings. It's actually a really great setup, and you really, 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 really should try them out. A lot of people like them. Let's see, what else we got? Let's see. Don't have a question, just want to say hello from next door, Maine. Longtime fan since Stings, and remember going all the way up to Augusta to the Edge to see you guys. Yeah, the Edge was such a great club, and man, that really dates you. That's cool. Maine was definitely one of our stopping grounds. We would always do like a long weekend tour where we'd play like Maine or New Hampshire, and then go to like Quebec or Montreal and back home. And we would always be flirting with different territories. So Maine was definitely amazing, and Kathy up there was always super helpful with giving us shows and booking us. Let's see. Hello, Ken. It is time for some guitar covers. I don't, I'm not one of those guys. I don't really play other people's songs too much. I'm here to play. I mean, I can. It's just, let those guys play their songs, or those guys or gals play their songs. But anyway, I love that Ozfest went several years in a row as well. Absolutely, yeah, that was actually really cool. Come to Vegas. I would love to come to Vegas. We were there recently for Warped Tour. When I say recently, before COVID happened. Let's see. Hey, Ken, I tried some Fishman Fluence Moderns and quickly fell in love. I can't wait to upgrade my other guitars with more Fishman pickups. Thanks for such amazing music. Cheers from Ecuador. That is absolutely an amazing comment. Thank you so much. I think once it's funny. You can go online. You can go on YouTube. You could hear people give their demonstrations of what our pickups sound like against other pickups or whatever. But in a lot of cases, you just have to actually put your hands on a guitar that has Fluence in order to really hear the tone versatility and what these pickups can do and how responsive they are. There's nothing like them in the whole entire world, and there won't be for a very long time. Rini, what's up? Remember seeing Zombie Autopilot video played on Kerrang TV, and I was hooked. Had that album continually in my Walkman back in the day. Would Barfly fit in my massive flare pocket? Yeah. So basically, the Oncoming Storm had one of our most successful. It was really funny. One of our most successful videos was the Zombie Autopilot, and it's awesome that that's what got you into us. It's actually I remember hearing the Zombie Autopilot for the first time finished. It was just one of those songs that we had in the jam space, and I just thought it was a filler track. And it ended up, I don't know how it became a video or who recommended it, but I always thought it was I remember sitting with my A&R rep and my manager once, and they were like, so what's the new record? What's the Oncoming Storm like? And I remember saying to them, oh, it's not heavy at all. I don't think that the album's as heavy as our other records, or I don't think it's that heavy. And I was really thinking about Zombie Autopilot. In my head, I was just kind of maybe I was just listening to that fresh, and I was just I don't think the record's that heavy. And my management and everybody were just super spooked. Label was super spooked. And yeah, I mean, that just the album's wicked heavy, and people still make fun of me to this day about that comment. And Zombie Autopilot was a song that I didn't expect for that to be a hit. So I'll play that next for you, Rini. I promise. Saw you guys on the Headbangers Ball tour in Atlanta. You guys were billed as Unearthed. Yeah, there's so many times where we're billed as Unearthed or Under Oath or stuff happens. But yeah, sometimes that happens. A lot of times too, when I'm in an elevator, and you know, somebody gets in an elevator with the band, and they're like, "Hey, you guys a band?" Because you could totally like smell us from a mile away, because we smell like we've been in a tour bus or a van. And they're like, "Yeah, like, you know, what band? What's your band name?" And I'm like, "Oh, Unearth. We play heavy metal." And they're like, "Oh, On Earth." Yeah. No, and I'm like, no, Unearth. And they're like, "Oh, okay, Unearthed." I'm like, Unearth. Unearthed. Like, look us up, you know, like, just trying to be nice. But yeah, a lot of people can't hear us when we talk. Maybe it's the Boston accent. I just saw. I was just a new era, which you and Adam D invented. Not this grim looking guys, just due to have fun. Well, I mean, we didn't really invent anything. We, you know, Adam or I or whatever. But Killswitch was definitely like, you know, a really great heavy band from the area, and same with us. We were doing, you know, all of us were just kind of doing things the way we heard it, and it kind of paved the way for new sounds, right? Everyone can sit around and take credit for what, you know, if they invented metalcore or this or that or the other thing. We were just, you know, we really liked Iron Maiden. We really liked heavy bands. We really liked Crowbar, bands like that. But mainly Iron Maiden, and I was always into the shred stuff. So it was really cool. One time, you know, I was doing a clinic with Tosin and Bossy, and he disclosed to me, he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, I never heard a band do sweep arpeggios over heavy parts until I heard you guys. And he's like, "You guys were the first ones to do that." And I was like, that's awesome if we were. I don't like to take credit for anything, but that's awesome that, like, even like someone like Tosin Abasi was had his eye on us like early on and thought that we were cool for doing that. And I still appreciate that. That's really cool. Will you guys be coming out with another signature 7-string? No, I mean, right now this is my signature, and I absolutely love it. I don't want to change the design at all. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And if you're talking about the pickups, there will be more 7-string pickups coming down the line. You said you're writing a new album. If you had to compare it to an album of the past, which one? To be honest with you, it sounds very Unearth-ish. It's tough to compare it to a record that we've made. If you listen to all of our records, I don't think any one of our records sounds like the next. I mean, the Stings of Conscious is us back in the day, like VFW Hall Band. You get the Oncoming Storm, that's very like heavy and polished, and then you get, like, you know, Eyes of Fire, which is a thrash record. Then you have Watch the Rule, which is a tech record. You know, I think you know, what was the March was very like mid-paced. And then the newest one was a little leaning towards like where we were in the Stings days, just like being a young band, just taking chances. So there wasn't a lot of song structure in the new record in a good way. Like, it was just really heavy stuff. So we always try to mix it up. We you know, I think you know this. There's a lot of bands in our genre that keep putting out the same record with the same band logo on the front. You know, even though they're different songs, they sound exactly alike, and that's not what we're trying to do. What about a PJ set for bass? Yeah, we are working on PJ sets. We're not going to have them out like right now or tomorrow or anything like that, but that is something that, you know, I like to say this on our stream. A lot of times, you know, it's been 80 years of technology, you know, and pickup, you know, development, and we're catching up because obviously we're a fairly new company when it comes to electric guitar pickups. So we are slowly but surely chipping away into the things that we want to make, and PJ is definitely one of those products that we want to put out very soon. Why did you drop the beer bong and push-ups through the years? I sometimes do push-ups still. Beer bong, you know, we bring it out on special occasions, but in a lot of cases, the beer bong starts to, like, it just gets very dirty. You know, transporting it to and from the bus, who's partying with it after the bus, and next thing you know, it smells like Chinese food, and, like, you know, you're still drinking from it, and I don't know. There's probably a lot of diseases that I haven't got over the years because I've been drinking out of a dirty beer bong for maybe 15, 20 years. But we didn't necessarily drop it. We just don't bring one around because it's not very sanitary. Can't, you know, unless if we had this like amazing, you know, someone that could go to Home Depot every day and construct a new one. That would be pretty kick-ass. But they're tough to wash. Also saw you guys on the 10-year anniversary tour of Whiskey A Go Go. Went to the Rainbow after and saw Lemmy. Didn't have the guts to talk to him. I was also there, Eric. Went to, obviously I was playing the 10-year anniversary show, which was awesome. I'm psyched that you went. But yeah, we went to the Rainbow later, and Lemmy was sitting there, just hanging out at the bar, playing video games and getting his mail, like stuff like that. I think I rolled over to him, and I remember saying something to him like, "What's up, dude?" But he gets that all the time. I try not to bother people that are quote unquote famous because I don't mind being bothered, but some people do, and he's an icon, so I'm sure he gets it all the time. Fishman question: looking for more passive sound, would the Willie Adler Fishmans stand above the other passives you have, or do they have any other suggestions? I think Willie Adler's pickups are awesome. If you're looking for a ceramic pickup, something that's like, overwound passive, but like muscular and sharp, like what the ceramic magnet kind of thing does, I love the Willie Adler stuff, especially if you're trying to play hard rock and heavy metal. But I would say the Keith Merrow pickups are really good if you like medium output. The classics are amazing if you play like rock and roll. And then the Javier Reyes pickups are like, I don't know, they're really good. They have a really good passive sound. I mean, all the voicings are really usable, and the neck pickup has this like super cool like jazz box sound. So try those. Those are all really good. See you on the 20-year of Oncoming Storm Tour Cycle 2024. Munich loves you. Yes, love Munich too. I always, believe it or not, every time I'm in Munich, if you actually want to run into me other than the concert, I will always be in the subway. I am addicted to the Munich subway system. I do a lot of photography, and I take a lot of artistic shots. I basically ride the train like all day, and sometimes after the show, I go out even after the show, and I go ride the train. So you'll most likely find me on the train somewhere, going to take pictures of another of train stations. It's kind of a thing that I do. Can you remember the show in Basel, Switzerland at the Ear Shaker Fest? A huge lineup. I think the tech guy of Skid Row cut off your sound. No, we didn't. I would remember if our sound was cut off. That didn't happen. And if it did, I would probably have bounced his head off the curb. So, but no, no, I remember the festival. I remember us just having a regular set, and it was fun, and kick-ass crowd. I know Switzerland, you guys always have volume restrictions on everything, so it's always weird to play Switzerland, but I absolutely love it. Endless Rules, thank you. Oh, you know what? I gotta get to Rini right now. I'm gonna she wanted me to play the she wanted me to play Zombie Autopilot. So let's do a little Zombie Autopilot. Let's rock and roll. Zombie Autopilot, everyone, off the Oncoming Storm. Today's the Oncoming Storm's birthday. Believe it's 17 years old. Oof. If it was a teenager, it'd be just graduating high school or just getting into high school. Crazy. Let's see. Can try some. I think we already answered this one. Okay, let's keep rolling. This record is pushing up doors into another dimensions. Just great. Thank you so much. Let's see. Sanctity of Brothers is on 3 in the Eyes of Fire. We'll get to that. I'll play that next week for sure. What do you think when you hear another band use the Endless Breakdown? I laugh because they're making money off of it. Well, I'm not, but they are. Yeah, no, I've heard a bunch of bands do that breakdown. But whatever. You know, we did it first. Hells yeah, one of my favorite songs. Thank you so much. That was, yeah, Zombie Autopilot. What amp did I use on the Oncoming Storm? I used an Signature, not the block letter, 5150 with a Maxon OD808 and a Boss noise suppressor. So it was like guitar, Maxon, noise suppressor, and then right into the 5150 Eddie Van Halen Signature with this actual signature on it. So that's it. Yeah. What's the beer to weed ration before playing? There's a lot of everything that floats around the dressing room. Depends on what you want to get in to. I was tight on cash, and it came down to Through the Ashes of Empire and the Oncoming Storm. I went with Machine Head. I heard Oncoming Storm later that day and was really disappointed. I didn't get it instead. Got it with my next paycheck and still have a copy in my collection. That's so awesome. Yeah, that Machine Head record's really cool. So you didn't make a bad decision. But thank you for going out and buy the Oncoming Storm. It's awesome. 2004 was an insane year for metalcore album drops. Yes, I mean metalcore was at its peak at that point. That's when all the bands that were like, you know, helping invent that sound or the type of music or whatever it was all kind of like converging at that time. I abused that EP and waited for the album. Yeah, the Endless EP. So awesome. My Heart Bleeds No Longer is on Stings of Conscience, so I can play that possibly next week. How you doing? Can you still live with your music since metalcore hype is over? Unearth still tours. We still make a living. We still do the things that we do. So, yeah, things are great. Can you talk with us about the Evertune Bridge, Ken? I've been looking to getting a new guitar. Heard amazing things. Also, Black Hearts Now Rain is a banger. Yeah, I love the Evertune Bridge. It basically keeps my guitar completely in tune. Sometimes when I'm tracking, I set it so it doesn't bend. So I will like play a lot of the stuff in tune, and then for all the feel parts, I tune everything up so it hits the bend stop, and then as I touch the strings, it releases all the strings in a cool way, so it keeps the guitar in tune. But then I actually get to start bending things around. So the Evertune is amazing. I designed this guitar thinking of the Evertune in mind. There's a lot of wood. There's a lot of mass on this guitar. It does take a lot of wood in the back to kind of carve out to put the system in. But I really like my guitar specifically. Dozen Furies. Mark from A Dozen Furies. Yes, sorry. I got that all wrong. Hello, Ken. From where do you get the idea from mirrored pickguard for the KSM7? I actually just wanted a mirrored pickguard. I thought silver on mirror would look really cool, especially with these nickel pickups that are like pretty mirror-y anyway too. So I think this guitar is designed exactly how I'd want it. Rini, the first on our show was with Chimera in 2009. Missed the last train home. Still have a black Ken Susi pick. Will you release your white KS picks? Yeah. I mean, how about this? Next time I'm in the UK, I will give you a few of my picks so you can have them and hang out and like whatever. We can actually meet, and I'll give you some picks. But yeah, that Chimera tour was pretty cool. And I'm glad you got one of those black picks. I know exactly which one you're talking about. I was kind of in between pick manufacturers at that time, and I had a bunch of leftover black picks. But yeah, I'll hook you up with some of these. Is it Dozen Furies? Yes, they won Battle for Ozfest. We also kidnapped Mark from the band. Hey Ken, how do you think your guitar tone compares to now and what you've had in the Oncoming Storm? I always thought the tone was amazing on that record, but hearing you play them now, wow. Well, yeah, the tone was awesome on the Oncoming Storm because in the mix it has a certain type of sound. I know that the guitar, I think we recorded some of that with a VHT cabinet. And to be honest with you, it's kind of fizzy and funny sounding. So I would think that my tone is better now. Playing a 5150 through like a Marshall or Mesa cab, undersized cab, would actually like be a better tone. But that's the thing, right? Like right now I'm using a Rev Generator 100p. It sounds amazing, and this is direct, and it sounds just like my cab that's mic'd in the other room. Tone is subjective. Whatever works for you is what works for you. But the funny thing is I get a lot of crap nowadays because, you know, I'll go to a show and I kind of, you know, I don't want to say I don't care, but I don't care about what I play through. I mean, I'll bring my rig, but if I don't have my rig, it's fine. I'll play through anything. And I usually bring like an overdrive and a gate and some effects. And, you know, I think it was Mike Slybomb from Darkest Hour that was like, dude, like you make any amp sound good, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, as long as you're like, using a high gain amp that has some cool saturation and some cool push, I don't think you can go wrong. It's just find your sound, you know? That's what I do. I play a lot of stuff. But if you'd ask me like what are my go-to amps, Soldano SLO is amazing. Rev is great. 5150 is great. Marshall 800 is great. I could get away with you know, EVH, one of those new Eddie EL34 amps. Those are really cool too. So I mean they're all good. That's why I'm not tied to a specific amp manufacturer. I don't sign endorsement deals with amps anymore because I want to be agile. I want to play whatever I want. Hey Ken, are you planning on doing a PJ set for bass? Yes, I answered that earlier. Totally, it's definitely in our plan. 100%. Hey Ken, you're awesome. Thank you so much, Jeremy. I appreciate it. I remember Mayhem Fest. First, I saw you guys first and had the privilege of meeting you guys in the tent, and were awesome. I would like to think that my band are great guys. I get a kick out of them. Even the people that work for us are really cool. The techs and stuff, and I don't consider them techs. I consider them part of the family, like our front house guy, Otto, and everybody. We just have a really cool camp, and thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Like it, you know, a lot of people like to talk a lot of noise online, but to be honest, it's always good to hear someone say that like hey, they had a great experience. Currently using the Fishman Fluence soap bars and all my basses. Can't imagine going back and using something else. How would I go about seeking an endorsement relationship with Fishman? Well, you can always email us on our website. Sorry, on our webpage we have like a, you know, a support area there. You know, just to be totally transparent, what Fishman looks for, and I love helping people out, but what Fishman's looking for as far as like full bore endorsement deal is that like you're in a band that is working. I mean, it's not just like, oh, we play a couple shows and, you know, we do well here and there or whatever. It's like, are you a working musician? Do you have an EPK, like an actual history of touring? You know, what label are you signed to? How many albums have you sold? So obviously, if you're going to come and try to get an endorsement with us, you know, we really like for you to provide some type of touring history and some type of proof of, you know, what you're doing. But, you know, if you're in a great band and you're doing great stuff, like, shouldn't be a problem. And to be honest with you, just let me clarify with that. It's not that we want to shun everybody from getting an endorsement. It's just that, like, what it comes down to is that if you are a touring musician and you are a working musician to the point where, you know, you're playing endless tours and you're always on the road and you need that type of support for your guitars, where we can exchange a pickup or we could do something or we can get you a couple sets, like that's why we do endorsement deals. It's you know, that's what it's about. Hope to see you guys in Quebec City. I hope to see you in Quebec soon. Thank you so much, Dave. I love Quebec. Quebec is a beautiful place. And yeah, hopefully we get to go to Quebec soon. First got turned on to you guys through the New England Metal and Hardcore Fest 0203. Lineups back there were insane. Yeah, Scott, totally agree. Those lineups were so fun, and the shows were always amazing. Can Unearth do a split record with official Darkest Hours where you play like 5 of each other's songs? I'd love to do that. And the cool part is that Mike Slybaum knows like a lot of my parts, and Buzz knows a lot of like he's filled in with Darkest Hour, so it would actually work out. I'd like to do like a split EP where we like play each other's tunes, but it's always good to do like other bands' songs when they're not in your genre. Like you get a lighter band to play a heavy song and a heavier band to play a lighter song, so that's always fun. Boom. I have a check Saturday guitar with Fishman Fluence Moderns, and I buy a set for my Les Paul. That's great, Daniel. Thank you so much. Get some Fishman Fluence Moderns or classics for your Les Paul. You will not be disappointed. Kathy, thank you so much. Is there a difference between the exclusive Epiphone Prophecy Fluence and the normal Fluence Modern? Yes. Epiphone has a PAF sound under the hood. You can't see exposed poles, so there's it's hybrid. There's definitely a PAF sound in there, and there's a modern sound too. I'm about to sneeze. Sorry, guys. So their voicing is a little bit different than your average modern. So yeah, that's a cool. That's cool. That's cool that you saw that. I never forget the first time I heard the breakdown in The Great Dividers. Still blows my mind. Thank you so much, Alex. That's awesome. Blows my mind too every time people go crazy on that song. Ever see any crazy bank robbery stuff happen where where you grow up, like the movie The Town? Oh, yeah, I'm from Boston, but I'm from the suburbs of Boston. So I grew up in if anything, if I were to relate my life to anything as far as a movie goes, watch like Session 9 or watch what was it? The movie about the witch trials. What was that? Oh man, can't remember right now. My brain's just like fried. But yeah, I grew up in Danvers, which is technically Old Salem Village. And Old Salem Village is where all the witch trial stuff happened. That was my hometown, so I'm very proud of my hometown. What does your tour band smell like? Van, I'm assuming you meant van instead of band, but my tour band and van smells like hell. It smells like garbage. And if you live in if we were in a tour bus or if we're in a regular van or whatever it is, we always smell. We're just smelly guys. Are we going to be touring anytime soon, especially the West Coast? We are not. We are recording a record, or we're going to be recording a record ASAP. Hey Ken, how do you find writing with Nick compared to previous drummers? Actually, Nick lives so far away that we don't get to like write with him face to face. But Nick is the best drummer I've ever played with, 100%. And I love writing music and handing it off to him because he always brings it to the next level. Nick is awesome. P90s with 2 knobs and 2 switches for out of phase and 3 voices. Yes, I'm gonna say yes. You can get the P90 set coming up very, very soon, and you can put 2 switches on it. But we are going to be selling very soon the reactive tone control and the phase inverter. They're additional accessory items, and that will allow you to be able to knock your guitar to phase, as well as give you a wider, more passive-y sweep on each tone knob. So keep your eye out on our site. We're definitely P90s are going to be sold very soon, and the switches and the accessories will definitely be sold shortly after that. So, I'm over my time, but you know what? I'm having fun. We'll continue a little bit further. We have a lot of viewers today. What numbers are your pickups? I don't know what that means. I'm so sorry. Does the New England Metal and Hardcore Fest still happen? No, it does not. And not that I know of. Can your songs all be played on a 6-string? Always want to play your stuff, but never heard it. The only person I ever saw that played all of our songs in 6-string was Emil Wursler filled in for Buzz once, and he played on a 6-string, and my mind was blown. I've never attempted it, but some songs can definitely be played on a 6-string. I don't know if I'm alone, but I find all the first song on every album so brutal. Endless, My Heart Bleeds No Longer, Great Dividers, Glorious Nightmare, My Will Be Done, The Swarm. Yeah, we try to come out heavy. I'm not going to lie to you. Unearth is known for, let's just come out all guns blazing. Looking forward to seeing you guys with Shadows Fall. Thanks, Sean. I cannot wait. There are some they are all build the same. Punch in the face, way you love it. Yes, definitely. Push-ups. I will do push-ups. Maybe I'll do a whole live stream where I try to do as many push-ups as I can in an hour. We'll try that. We could use the metal as a reaction on Facebook. I agree. Air push-ups. Yep, totally. What else we got going on here? I'm trying to find some more questions. There's a lot of them. I'm sorry, guys, that I'm kind of like some of you guys. Ooh, Paul Hanley. Paul Hanley, my bud, my friends, and I all agree that we think the Oncoming Storm is the best album. Oh, you're not okay. Henley. I thought you were Hanley. Sorry, I have a good friend named Paul Hanley, but you're also my friend now. Do you feel the same? Oncoming Storm probably is our best album in the sense that it was the most commercial and the most accessible, the one that people know us for. So I'll give you that. I'll say, yeah, it's our best album. But if you ask me specifically, what's our best tech album? Which one's the hardest to play? I'd say The Watch is a Rule. If you ask me what's the best, what's the heaviest record, I would say Extinctions or Stings of Conscience. If you ask me what's our most melodic record, I would say Darkness in the Light. Unearth has always taken chances, and I think we have there's an album out there for you specifically. If you haven't gotten into us before, there's it depends on what you like, but one record you may gravitate towards more than the others. What do you tune your guitar to? I know it's drop B, but it's only on the 7-string, right? Or your high E would be. Oh, what would my high E be? Okay, I've explained this a few times before, but it is drop B, but this string right here is not an E. Usually in standard tuning, this would be an E and then this would be a B. But this right here is an F sharp, and this up here is an F sharp. So that means the 6-string aspect of this guitar is up one full step. So the highest string's F sharp, the lowest string's F sharp, and then you add the B on top. So in order to do that, I had to move down a set of strings, and I moved down to a 9 versus a 10, and I have a low 56 here. And what do I use? Ernie Ball Paradigm strings. Absolutely amazing. Hey Ken, do you use any single width pickups in your guitars? I do not. In my grunge guitar, I use an HSS, so I can say yes. And when I'm recording here, I have a lot of Fishman Strat single width pickups. Can Unearth try to play a show in Tyler, Texas? I've never been to Tyler, Texas. I would love to. Hey Ken, let's see. Metalcore hype is over. If anything, the hype is back as strong as ever. I would say that it was over there for a minute, and our career was looking grim, but it seems like there's a lot of metalcore bands coming back. And it's actually funny. A lot of bands that weren't really metalcore or were in the last phase of it, come out every once in a while like, oh, we're metalcore, or they denounce that they're metalcore, and then they come back and they say they're metalcore. They pick and choose when they say whatever's cool at the time. Ken, do you use any Fishman single with pickups in your guitars for swivel tracking? Yes. I use the SSA and SSP. I use an HSS version in my Ibanez Roadstar. Really awesome. Remember seeing you guys on the Battle for Ozfest. Thought you guys were cool. I thought I wasn't giving to like the guys at Demo Bourgeois. Ended up liking you guys way more. Yeah, Demo Bourgeois guys were cool. It's just different vibe. I mean, our band's just like, we pride ourselves on just being dudes that, hometown dudes that like blue collar musicians. We're not sworn in by the Queen of England or anything like that, or we're not like sworn in by the Emperor himself, some death metal god or whatever. We're just a band that plays good music, and we like to hang out with each other. probably the reason why Unearth will never break up, because we actually enjoy each other as people. And we grew up together. The Oncoming Storm is my all-time favorite. Failure and Predetermined Sky, top tracks. Thanks for signing my flask and bumper shoot back in the day. Thank you. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love a good flask. I've been a huge fan for a long time. I really love you for doing this. Hearing you guys tell stories and getting to hear you play is a blast for me as a fan. Just want to thank you and tell you that this is appreciated. Matt, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. This is why I'm here. I actually was supposed to stop about 7 minutes ago, but I'm continuing to go because of people like you. I absolutely love the fact that you guys are here and watching me. Finally put some moderns in my solar. Man, it's different. It's a different beast now. It goes nicely with the classic equipped PRS. I agree. Unbelievable. Amp wise, I just got an XFX3, perfect for the household guitarist. Way more than a. That's cool. That's cool. XFX is cool. When is Unearth going on tour? We're gonna be going on tour after our new album's out. Not sure exactly when. Remember when everyone was using crank amp? VHT Pipples were around too. I think everyone must have wanted to use something other than 5150, but nothing can beat it. Crank was cool. I didn't really like any of the cranks per se, but Dimebag left me a crank amp that was stolen by one of the employees at Crank. So I was bummed about that. It sounded really good. I love VHT Pipples. Not as saturated as I'd want. I like a little bit of saturation in an amp, unless if it's a Marshall 800. But VHT Pipples are awesome. And actually the new Synergy module of the VHT Pipple is really, really good. Try that out if you're looking to try something. Is there any loss of sustain in your guitar due to the Evertune? I had 2 Evertune guitars over time, and I felt like the sound was dead. That's actually a really good question. I have a quilted maple guitar that has the Evertune in it, and it feels a little dead. I can't tell if it's the wood of the guitar or the Evertune that's doing it. I know that sounds really crazy, and I'm not like... If you were to buy one of my guitars, or if you were to try one of my guitars at the store, and I'm not sitting here hyping my guitar up, there's just something about my guitar that has a lot of like spank and niceness to it. I don't know if it's the combination of the ebony fretboard and the mahogany body, but it like feels really good, and it feels really responsive and very expensive, even though it's not that expensive. So I'm really happy with this design. Sometimes you get a bad hunk of wood, and then you throw an Evertune in it as well, and then it's like not helping. So there's something to be said for like the wood of the guitar. And I never really think about that kind of thing, but I saw Steve Vai on YouTube once like going like, oh, this is in the key of this, and he's just like tapping all of his guitars and saying which one's good for tracking. And I don't know, I'm not that guy, but what I will say is it might not be the Evertune that's doing that for you. It might be the guitar. It might be the wood, but it very well could be like, you know, taking out wood of a guitar that was just on the hairy edge of being like good enough. So I'm not sure. You gotta, like me, I personally, like when I grab a guitar, I play it for a little bit, and I make sure that it's a guitar that like I'm happy with and that I want to use. Random question: how long have you been playing guitar for? Well, I am 42 years old, and I've been playing since I was 9 years old. You do the math. Dave Pino, one of the best guitar players I know. Right here, this guy. Look him up. Dave Pino. You can find him on YouTube. You can find him on Instagram. He has a lot of great political posts. Just kidding, Dave. Dave is awesome. He plays in Andrew WK. You would never know how sick he is because he doesn't really shred in that band as much as he should. But Dave Pino is the best. Best. And then Matt's writing, bless you, bless you. Oh, that's when I sneezed. Ah. Keep going. Thanks, Dave. Wow, that was a while ago. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Thanks for answering. Stoked for next week's stream. Small body guitar with an Evertune has less sustain. Just the physics. If you want seriously offset it, get an Aristides crazy sustain. Yeah, maybe. I have a lot of sustain in this guitar. It just depends on what guitar you have and how it is, but Aristides makes a really good guitar for sure. Please get John Brown to demo some Greg Koch P90 sets. That's not a bad idea. I bet he would do it too if I hit him up. What's your favorite riff or solo that Buzz wrote? Buzz writes a lot of really good riffs. Great Dividers was the main riff in Great Dividers, was definitely a Buzz riff. Love that. When he first came up with Endless, like the main riff of Endless, that was kick-ass. Solo-wise, he has a lot of good solos. I just can't tell you which one I like because I just don't know. He's a good guitar. He's a really good guitar player. He you know, Buzz got his stuff down. I'll tell you. But anyway, who created the Giles riff? It was a co-collaboration. That was one of the songs that I think we were all in the jam space during that record cycle trying to write a record, and I think Buzz might have been responsible for the main riff. I can't remember, but I remember us all writing the song because there's parts that I wrote, there's parts that he wrote. So those are usually the better on our songs when we're just like collaborating. Ooh, Jababa 12352. Want to become famous? Buy followers? Guys, this is it. This is the avenue. I think I want to become famous today. Do you think I should buy followers? Because this is big time right now. This is an opportunity that you don't get every day. So bigfollows.com, guys. This is the scam of the month. Man, Oncoming Storm has been a staple in my playlist since I first heard it in 2004. Love it, Zombie Autopilot. Thank you so much. Still listening to My Will Be Done almost all the time. The intro riff is bonkers. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love that song too. Have you been using any amp sims lately? Loving the new Mark Lewis STL Tone Hub pack. Mark gets such good tones. Mark does get great tones, and his pack sounds amazing. I tend to use real amps in the studio, or in general. I don't know. It inspires me to write way more. I feel it a whole lot more. Oh, Jobby, you silly robot. Yeah, guys, I could have became famous. I missed my opportunity. I remember where the first time I was seeing you guys at the Hammer Sonic Jakarta. Wild. Yeah, I remember playing in Jakarta. At that, yeah, that Hammer Sonic was awesome. You should totally try your hardest to convince the boys in Shadows Fall to do a new record and try a tour. If I was anywhere close to Mass, I'd be at the reading show. Yeah, I think those guys, Johnny plays in Anthrax, and Matt Bichon plays in, I forget who he's playing with, and I know Bittner plays in, was he playing in Halloween? I can't remember, but a lot of those guys play in other bands now, and yeah, but it's like, what an appropriate show for them to come back to Worcester and do a show with us and like really do a good hometown throwdown. Should be packed. Please play Black Hearts. Guy, I actually gotta leave. I'm so sorry. I will play it next week though. Can you message me the tab for the March? I cannot, but you can go to Sheet Happens, SHEET Happens, and they sell all of our tab books. Overkill. Okay, Bittner plays in Overkill. Okay, everybody. Love you guys. Oh yeah, Matt plays in Act of Defiance. Thank you so much, Tree. I really appreciate it. Guys, I am done for today. I am just pooped an hour with you guys. So thank you so much for showing up. Don't forget, head over to www.fishman.com. We have electric, acoustic, MIDI products, amplification, everything that's so awesome that you should try out or check out. Or if you're looking for an install guide or any type of information, you can find it right here at fishman.com. Guys, I'm Ken Susi. Today was the Oncoming Storm's birthday, and I'd love to wish everyone who was a part of that album cycle and all the fans and everybody who saw us play during that album cycle, 2004, 2005, into 2006. I'd like to thank Buzz, Trevor, Mike Justin, Slow John Maggard, the guys in the band, road crew, Brian Ward, Yano Dovey, all the guys that supported us during that time that were family, Grizz, Greg Middleton, Dave Staubel, the list goes on and on. All my good friends, all the great bands that play with us, and definitely like to thank Adam D. for making that record with us at that time. He's still a great friend, and it's great to have him, still around. We're all still here, and we're all still doing it. So with that being said, thank you everybody who participated in this live stream. I come here every Wednesday at 3 o'clock p.m. and I hang out with you and answer all your questions, play songs, and entertain. Just chill out. So guys, my name's Ken Susi. This was a Fishman Live Takeover. We'll see you next time.